drop behind the 3. He's got to find it off the 5. He can't take a risk trying to break that cluster any sooner. So this is the important shot. And he's got a bit of an angle. He would have liked maybe a bit more. Oh, I'm forgetting about the 6. What am I talking about? I'm getting so excited. Well, that isn't bad. He's going to have to probably dig into this 6. No, exactly. That's not as good as I thought it was. He's well behind the 6. And he's got the 9 ball full in the face. Where's the cue ball going? Where's the cue ball going? Oh. Well, it's going to be no option but the thin edge. Now that is very adjacent to the point of the knuckle there. This has got to be done carefully. And he's played it well. That is a good shot. Yeah, I remember semi-pro's mid-match crisis against Franco. He had a senior moment during the match, and then, and in fact, if I remember rightly, he started PMing me, and I told him to shut up and get on with it. Started PMing me while I was streaming the damn thing. I says, listen, get your act together, get your head together and get on with the match. Well, this is now, how many crucial racks are we going to see now to the end of the match? My goodness me. And Stubb, again, the golden rule in my book in safeties is getting distance if you can. If you can't get the cover, get the next best thing and get distance, because believe me, it makes it tough. And this here that Vincez has got is a tough shot. He can obviously hit the 7. Well, there, Vincez has answered that one with a cracking safety. That is a... Well, he's going to have to obviously call the kick on the 7. And if it goes in... Well, he hasn't. Now, was that a foul? Yes, it was. What a bonus now for Vincez, but what a safety. The safety is going to get him the reward. Because now he's going to be plumb on the 10 in a minute or two, unless something disastrous happens, to get back to within 1. Need a drink here. And Stubb breaks off and gets a ball in the break. And he has a shot on the 1 which looks pretty tight, but there is room to get past that 3. And the problem ball is that one. The problem is the 5. Let's have a closer look at this, because if you're going to pot that 5, I think it's difficult to even get, even if you get down here, it's difficult to get to that 5 where you can actually make the potting angle and not foul the 8. Yeah, there's a big problem ahead here. Oh, this will be a... Oh, dear. Well, that was really unlucky. Well, he has got it. I thought he'd locked himself out there in the 4. I wish I'd been up the table. Well, Stubb has broke off with a ball in a break, and he's got the breakout, and he's now on the 8, and he's looking to maintain the lead that he's got from mid-match onwards, and it's going to take him to within 2 of victory, provided he gets this 9 and 10. And the break will go back to vincez, I think, in the next rack. And of course, there's absolutely nothing you can do with alternate break. Your opponent gets the break and gets a ball and gets a shot. There's just nothing you can do. And this is why it's now the odds are against vincez. Mathematically, they're against him because of the alternate break. But he's got a ball. He's got a very difficult 1. And he should have a shot in the 2, but he's going to have to pull off a good shot to get him started here. Pressure really on. And he's looking for cover. Well, I don't know whether that's good enough. Is Stubb going to go for the jump? Well, he's not interested. He's looking at a kick option here. Well, he's just looking to get lucky, but this time he hasn't. And so vincez, with the opportunity to respond. And is he going to hold his nerve? Well, he's proved it when it was asked of him in his last match. And, well, he's now in a situation where he has no other option. It is the point now where he cannot make mistakes. He doesn't have the room to manoeuvre. He has to get the job done in this rack. And that was now in a position with this 6 ball where he's got to try and find a path to the 7. And it's down here. And that pace looks pretty damn perfect to me. That is an absolutely perfect positional shot. He can stun in and drop behind the 8. And now what's he going to do to get on the 9? Squirt out behind the 10. He needs to avoid the 10. If he hits the 10, he's knackered. But that is perfect. So the response from vincez, he hasn't blinked. He is still in with a chance. And he's back to within 1. And it's a rack that he was so desperate to win. But the break goes back to Stubb. And the 3 ball thought about going in. The 10 ball is hanging over the pocket. This could be a quick rack if vincez can somehow pull off a shot to get started. Oh, this is a pressure shot because the 10 ball is hanging and he simply must stay at the table here. He must stay in control because we know that any ball knocked towards that 10 is going to be a quick rack for anybody. That there is just waiting to be pushed in. And this shot here, well, he's banked to 1. He's got a thin cut in the 2 for the combo onto the 3. But now, of course, he has to keep his head clear about what he's doing, because the 2 might be locked behind that 6. And that's where it can go wrong here. He's got to be careful. And that is the problem. And now he's going to have to spin in behind the 6 to chip the 2. He needs to be, again, this is, let's have a look at that. Well, there is not much room to get that spin to work to chip that 2. This is difficult. Had that 6 ball been a bit further away, it'd have been fine. I think that's a foul. Is it? Oh dear. And that is another disaster. It's ball in hand, 4-10 combo. And that was the danger with playing the cut from the 2 to the 3, that if you play it pocket weight, the 6 ball was going to be the blocker. And is that the fatal error from vincez? He had, if anything, he should have hit it with pace. He was trying to keep the 2 near the pocket, but the danger was always a 6 ball. And the 2 ball was left blocked behind it, and he had to try and kick it and didn't have enough room to get there. And vincez now having a blast to try and pot the 1 and disturb the 2. And Stubb now within 1 of victory. Well, he can pot the 1. He can stun to avoid the 10. But I don't think he can avoid hitting something. He'd be really fortunate if he doesn't hit something up at that end of the table. But really all he's wanting is a sight on the 2, because he's got an easy safety off the 2. You can use the 5 as a stopper and just get that distance again. And well, this is going as tough as you want to make it. He's now Chinese snookered over the 10 ball. He may well still be trying to use the 5 as a stopper. Well, he's trying to just bank the 4, the 2. Well, this position here has got vincez in trouble. Although he can see the 2, he's going to have to call the 2-6 combo. There's plenty of room to get past that 9. But has he called the 6? Well, he has now. And the same problem with this shot, he has to hit this. He needs to get the cue ball out of there. Well, he's tried to hold it. I don't know whether he's done enough. He's going to have to spin around this 9 slightly to get the kick. Is that another foul? No, it's not. Ah, that was close. But that clip in the 9 has scuppered his chances here for a shot in the 4. Now, what does he do to get it safe? Well, this has got to find a distance, and that is almost there. He hasn't got the cover. Now, is Stubb going to have a blast? I think he is. I think he's going for it. He's got the thin cut in the 4, and he took the risk. And how's his luck? Well, he's going to scratch, is it? It's ball in hand to vincez. Stubb going all out for the win. And vincez has his first lifeline that he needs to get back within one. Well, it's not all over yet, apart from the fact that vincez has just got himself a wee bit straight. But it is all about nerve and bottle and not choking now. This is a wee bit nervy, this one. It's a wee bit awkward. We know what he has to do. Just pot the 8 and run off the rail and out. But it is going to be, barring something miraculously silly, vincez getting back to within one. And Stubb could not resist the cut on that 4 ball. It was extremely difficult, but he was having a blast at it and going for the win. And that's handed vincez one of his lifelines. The break goes back to Stubb. And the break is dry. And vincez, well, with no shot, there is a possible combo, but who is going to take that risk at this stage? And look at this 7 and 9, it isn't a combo. Well, the worst thing he has to do here is at least find a safety. There is a safety. He can find the gap there. Well, I think he'll be put back in here in a second. Because if he had pushed that one into there, he could have come off the edge of the one, down there and down here. I don't think that was the shot I would have played. But Stubb didn't put him back in. And he might regret it, because vincez now has the angle to push the one to the side rail, bank it along that short rail at the top, or at least thin off it and try and get the cue ball behind the 6 and 9, the 7 and 9. And I don't think he's got there either. Well, Stubb can feather the one and just try and come across. And that now has got vincez in trouble. And I think vincez has left himself open to this, because to me he's played the wrong safety. It's all very well in hindsight, but I think he should have went for distance. And now he's got himself right in the mire. He's going to have to call the one into that corner on the top end of the table. What a shot. What a kick bank at this stage in the match. And the 2 will go past the 3. But what a way to dig yourself out of a hole. And the 2 surely must have went past the 3. He's went for the lock-up behind the 3. And he hasn't got there. Oh dear. Well, I don't know what's going through his head now, but I'll tell you something. It is amazing what goes through your head when you get to this stage in a big match. I don't think he was thinking clear there. I was convinced the 2 went past the 3 down the rail. And he hasn't got it safe. And he's left Stubb in. And the only lifeline that vincez has now is that 7 and 9. I need another drink, the voice is breaking. Is the 7 and 9 going to come to vincez's rescue here? Because that's all that stands between him and Stubb running this rack and winning the tournament. or it goes all the way. He went for the break and he didn't get it because the 5's adjacent to the middle pocket. He took the risk, but he didn't get it first time, and he has a chance again, but it's riding the luck to get on the 6. And he's gone for it this time, and this time he's landed on the 6. And this match, well, I'm going to say it, this match is over if he can get down onto the 7. Oh, that's going too straight. Well, what a shot here from Stubb. He's totally lost the plot there. And now he's going to have to run for cover. Well, that was his chance to win the match. And he's not got the cover. Oh, now is this off the rail? It is. Is vincez going to play the bank again to save his neck and to keep him in the match? It looks a good bank, and he's going to be on the 8, but it's this shot to stay in the match. It's not there. It is not there. Oh, and Stubb has left with this tough 7, and he must fancy it. He's going to be on the 8. Doesn't need to worry about the cue ball. All out for the pot. And in it goes. And anywhere in this bottom half of the table here for Stubb. Plenty of room. It looks as if he's going to come over behind it for the right middle. That's what it looks like he's playing. No, he's playing the draw. Plenty of draw. Well, this is awkward. It is not easy. He might chip into the 10 here. And knowing that, he might have a bit of a dig into the cue ball to avoid it. Well, Stubb already had the match won if he had got on that 7 ball. If that was the one he was playing. Well, he's went for the cut in the 9. He's missed it. And this is going to be awkward for vincez. This is vincez's last chance to dig out a pot on this 9 to take us all the way. Well, what an end to the match. Oh, this is really, really ugly. And vincez says he can't believe he missed it. It wasn't bloody easy. I don't know where he's coming from. Oh, God. Well, look at it from vincez's point of view. Well, in it goes. Well, we are going all the way, folks. What a finish to the tournament. What a finish to this tournament. We're into a final rack decider. We've been 2 hours and 5 minutes in this final. And vincez has broken off. He's got a couple of balls in the break. He's got a shot in the 1, and the 2's hanging over the left middle pocket. And as far as I'm concerned, it all hinges on this 1 ball. The 8 ball is fairly tight in that rail. And, well, it doesn't matter. There is still an awful lot of pressure on this 1 ball just to keep your nerve and not twitch. And in it goes. And again, well, no heroics here. Just drop the 2 in and you're on the 4 and get the cue ball off the rail. That's the order of the day here. Well, I'm going to have to watch this match replayed. I mean, although I'm watching it, there's lots of things have happened, particularly late on, with Stubb having the chance to have won it and not getting that position between the 2 balls and ending up going straight onto the shot, or was it the 6 ball? And vincez now, provided he can go forward and off the rail and get as straight as he can on this 8-ball, well, it's just a stopper. He needs to come back an inch or two for comfort. Oh dear, he's missed the 8. Well, oh, I cannot believe this. I mean, Stubb has got to reverse bank this, or does he play it thin from the right side and get distance? And he had to draw back just to get comfortable in that 10. And we see it time and time again. These pockets, if you send them offline, are going to rattle and it's going to hang up. And Vincez, with a match at his mercy, has rattled the 8 and got it safe. And Vincez now has the reverse bank. He's going to go for it. He's not going to mess about. It's off the rail. It is a good reverse bank. But is he going to have a shot in the 10? It is all out, all or nothing. You get a shot at it, you have to go for it. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. But what about the 10? What about the 10? Oh, look at this. Look at this for a pot to win the tournament. What a finish. Oh, and it goes. And that was an amazing finish to this match. I am going to have to watch the full replay, because how the hell Vincez has managed to somehow hang himself in this, well, hang in this match is unbelievable. Stubb had the chance to have it won and he blew the positional shot. And somehow Vincez stayed in it and stayed in it. And he had the reverse bank. He could not refuse it. He had to get it. And then it went and he got a shot on the 10, which is all you ask for. And somehow or other, Vincez has won the match by 17 racks to 16. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, there is going to be some people watching the replay for this, because this has been amazing, the finish to this tournament. Stubb, well, you cannot discount Stubb's fighting qualities. He's loose with his positional play, but he battled to get himself into the lead. He had a 3-rack lead and he had the chance in his hands to win the match, and it got away from him. And you cannot come any closer to winning a tournament than what just happened there. Unbelievable finish. Well, guys, well, what do you say with that? What do you say? Let's look at the bracket. Not that it matters, but let's look at it anyway. And we will see that the VP4 10-ball world champion, if I can get this damn thing to work, 2019, is Vincez from Taiwan, who beat Stubb from the USA in a final rack decider by 17 racks to 16. And, well, he wins some V dollars, because apart from that, he wins nothing else. But Vincez has been the favourite, the strong favourite all the way through the tournament. Stubb has been saying all the way through the tournament he was going to win it. Well, he generally does back himself most of the time. And he got there right on the line. And he got tripped up on the line and just fell short. It's been a great finish to the tournament. And the two guys, I'll give a round of applause to them, because it takes two to make a match. It's not all about one person. Vincez, the hot favourite from like the third round of this tournament, having seen his results. Stubb, we know what he's like. He's blasting hot and cold, but he's fought all his way through the one-loss side to get there. So take your hat off to the two guys for putting up a great final. And with that, folks, thanks to everybody that took part. Thanks to all the people that joined in the streams. Thanks for your company. It's been a fantastic final. Well worth getting out of my bed for. Well worth streaming it and getting it archived. So make sure you tell everybody you see to go to YouTube, go to 9ball.com and get this match watched and watch it from the start, because they have got to see how this panned out. You can't just tell them it was a 17-16 win. You have to see the last 8 or 9 racks in this match to see how it finished. So I'm going to have a lie down in a darkened room because I am ill. Oh dear. Well, thanks for that. I don't do it for myself. I do it for the game. I know that at some point in the future we're going to be wanting to watch a bit of VP4 on YouTube, and luckily with the contribution of these two guys tonight and everybody else in the tournament, we've had a tournament to look back on, and certainly a final to look back on. And that does not discount the finals that we've seen between Semi-Pro and Franco in the 8-ball bar table and in the straight pool, because those were two bloody good finals as well. Don't forget that. Those matches are on my YouTube channel as well, and if you get a chance, have a look at them, because they were exciting finishes as well. So I am going to say good morning, good afternoon and good night, and take care, and hopefully I'll see you again soon, and also hopefully we'll see Franco drop in at some point to find out how he's doing. So I wish him all the best, and the same to you guys. Take care, and we'll see you later.